like everything always overshadows now is like ticket sales, and maybe that's just Twitter brain, but like good crowd in Minnesota on both nights. I think night two was more fun, and that's in part to Chelsea Green winning the WWE. They say interim, but I'm gonna just say WWE Women's Championship. And I think she popped me the most, and I think she has that kind of aura and energy, and just that persona, and just background of just like dealing with injuries, going up the ranks, going in like multiple different wrestling promotions, and finally going to where she wanted to be, and also getting the WWE Championship, which a lot of people thought that she was not someone who would ever hold a title, because they felt like she was more of a supporting player, more of someone in a specific lane when it comes to comedy. And that, of course, is Michael Hayes. For those of you who didn't watch WWE Unreal, that was one of the more viral moments from that Unreal season. Was Michael Hayes said that Chelsea's job was to make other wrestlers look better. So, I mean, I popped for that win in the 5-way ladder match. What did you guys think of that ladder match?
That was my desired outcome.
Yes.
That was like, it just felt like a pipe dream, but I was like, oh man, if they do it, that'd be like the best. And then they hit you with it. Man.
Yeah, I literally jumped up because I was so happy. I was happy for her. I was happy that it's someone else that it was not in the women's title picture. That it's like it's a new face, someone people really care about. I do think she's like the women's division's version of like a Daniel Bryan, where people really wanted to manifest her winning the championship because she deserves it. And yeah, she posted when we were just talking about Michael Hayes on social media. She posted with a picture of herself and Michael Hayes, in which she wore her WWE Women's Championship. So, I think Michael Hayes, I think the internet is doing a lot of the legwork, creating the drama. I think Michael Hayes took it. I think he got a kick out of it. I think he's super happy for her. Of course, he ate his words, but and who knows? Maybe this was just kind of a way to keep fanning those flames for Chelsea Green, and it's all work, baby. But
Yep.
Work me, Daddy, Papa H. I don't care. I'll pretend it's real. So yeah, she in her post interview, she dedicated the victory to Michael Hayes, and took the picture. And also, the reason that it's currently called an interim WWE Women's Championship was because Rhea Ripley was sidelined with a meniscus injury, and that's why they had this whole ladder match. And of course, Chelsea Green this past week on SmackDown also had her own injury by, I don't know if it's broken or if it's fractured, but it affected her orbital bone, which I think Rhea Ripley also had previously. I don't know what the degree was, but that was when she was wearing that mask over her face, and she had different variations of it, looking like a demon and all that kind of stuff. So Chelsea Green is also currently dealing with that, and we won't know, as of this recording, the extent of it. I don't think they're going to drop the title from her, so I'll predict this future, that I don't think she is dropping that title anytime soon. So before we get to the injury part, she also mentioned during her little media run that she's manifesting everything. She said she already sent a text message asking to bring the title to AAA, and that was when she just won the title. Green, of course, was one half of the AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champions with Ethan Page, and they held the belts for about 90 days. But then, of course, man, she had to give up her title due to injury. So I mean, she's not having a great time in terms of holding a belt and then not being injured. So I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? So I mentioned the injury part, and I just talked about how she was injured when she held the mixed tag titles. David, what do you think is going to happen with the WWE Championship and Chelsea Green now that she has this orbital bone fracture?
I think she'll just wear a mask. I don't think she's gonna take time off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, my gut was saying, "Oh no, she's gonna drop it," because when I watched the footage of her like talking about it, because she posted it on, I think on her Instagram, and you know, but it could be just part of the, you know, story, make it emotional that, you know, she has this potential to drop it, but she doesn't actually drop it, but there might be some play with that into the whole thing. So I'm guessing ultimately she does not drop it. That's where I stand.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping for that too, and I think some people made some good points, like Liv Morgan and some women who previously held like championship gold, like the top belt. They didn't defend it. Like they were on screen, but some of them didn't actually have title matches, and it's no fault of their own. It's not like they're the ones who are personally saying like, "Hey, I don't want to defend this title." Um, for like 60 days, 90 days, you know. So orbital bone fractures, based on some of the stuff that I've looked up in the past, I feel like some like fractures can take about a month to 2 months. So I don't know what the seriousness of hers is, because based on like how her face looks like, and she also said that I think in the Instagram video was that her face looks pretty great. It doesn't look swollen or black and blue or anything like that. So, you know, she has a broken orbital bone, but you can't really tell, which I guess is good for her. But again, like she could do what Trish Stratus did with like the nose guard. We already mentioned Rhea Ripley. There's a lot of ways where I mean, I think she was also injured and used that as an angle. Maybe she just doesn't want to keep doing that, because I think when she was actually injured with like her leg, she was in that wheelchair and made it a thing. But yeah, I think that they're gonna keep it on her, and she is just going to play it safe. Same thing like Rhea Ripley did, and then she was still wearing the mask even in War Games. So I do want to zoom out a little bit more in the meta context of just like the big picture of Chelsea Green winning the championship and what it took to get to that point. Do you feel, either of you can answer this, do you, with her winning the women's championship, do you feel this, you know, that this proves that she's more than a supporting player, or do you feel like because they tacked on the interim title to it, it's at the end of the day maybe a transitional role, kind of like Sami Zayn held the title for a week just so they can pass it to CM Punk a week after?
I don't think anybody will remember that's interim.
Mm-hmm.
That's like different company, but it's like saying that's like remembering that one of Mox's title runs are interim. Nobody remembers.
That's true. People just view it as like a WWE championship run. No one knows that little footnote where it's technically an interim. I think it still counts as a. No one would remove it from their record. You know.
Yeah, and I mean that's what they do in boxing and most mixed martial arts.
Yeah, and it's more of like a formality. I mean, like for wrestling, I guess it's interesting that they want to start. I mean, they've used it in the past, like you said, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a way for Rhea to just automatically get a championship match? Or, I mean, so is it if Rhea Ripley comes back, is she the women's champion when she comes back? Then, like, she's the women's champion. There's an
You gotta have a
interim,
match
and then they
with
face each
whoever.
other.
She's gonna keep the
She's not the champ. Yes,
belt in a velvet bag. The
Yeah.
real champion.
Velvet bag or a suitcase or whatever, or a briefcase, not a suitcase.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
I mean, I would say that moment when she won, it's that meme where it says everyone liked that, and I think that's the general sentiment of her victory. That it wasn't like a, oh, that's nice. It's like finally, because she deserves it for real. So I think WWE understands the gravity of that. I imagine they're gonna give her flowers and give her a pretty decent run. So hopefully they just spin it into some kind of a story where it seems like, you know, she has to give it up or do something, but she ultimately winds up holding on to it. Something like that, you know, perseverance type of storyline.
Yeah, I'm also hoping that Rhea Ripley does get involved, and some people have said this online too, and I think I tend to agree with. I think if Rhea Ripley like takes the belt off Chelsea Green, that might be the first time that Rhea Ripley would get booed. Like they wouldn't want her to win the title in this specific scenario. And maybe I am just being a fanboy, but I could see some of the reaction shifting, maybe at least for the marks or the people who, you know, appreciate her as a wrestler, and that for her to just drop the belt to Rhea Ripley when she comes back. I could see people being upset at Rhea Ripley.
The blue Tista
that's crazy
reaction.
Yeah, like a blue Tista reaction. Yeah. What do you think?
Agreed. And especially again, just based on what I was saying, what the internet's saying, the IWC or the internet wrestling community. Yeah, I would say that'd be a pretty loud voice. I think they'd be pretty vocal about that.
Yeah. So I think with that, we can bounce to